If you thought the Dallas, Texas real estate market roller coaster was over, well then buckle up because we're going to predict 2024 and it's going to be quite a ride.
Being in the Dallas-Fort Worth real estate market since 2003, we've been through many different housing markets, including the Great Recession in 2008 and 9. So we've learned a few things in navigating changing market conditions. So if you want to know whether you should make a move in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in 2024, then stick around.
We're going to be talking about the interest rates, inventory, housing prices, and whether you should consider making a move in 2024.
Since mortgage rates have been one of the biggest factors that have had some buyers on the fence about buying, let's start there. Mortgage interest rates have descended since last October when they hit 7.79%. In fact, they've come down a full point. And while they're not going back to the 3% we saw during the unicorn years, they are expected to continue to go down from where they are now in the near future. At the end of December, the top housing economists all expected mortgage rates to remain below 7% in 2024, but none predicted to be a drop below 6%. However, this month, Fannie Mae has updated their forecast due to the continued resilience of the U.S. economy, including the low unemployment rate. They are now predicting that rates will dip below 6% in the last quarter of 2024. They believe that housing and mortgage markets will stabilize in 2024 and not be quite as turbulent as the past few years. Now, as a matter of fact, Fannie Mae is no longer including a recession as part of their forecast for this year, although they are still expecting some challenges this year due to limited housing affordability, limited inventory, and the lock-in effect. Now, the lock-in effect is what economists are calling the situation where homeowners who bought their homes with around 3% mortgage interest rate, they don't want to give up that rate to buy a new home. But here's the interesting part. Fannie Mae expects that more homeowners who delayed moving in 2023 due to higher mortgage interest rates are going to take advantage of those falling rates, causing an increase in home sales this year. This is also being forecasted by Lawrence Yun, who's the National Association of Realtors chief economist. He's actually predicting that home sales will rise by almost 14% this year compared to 2023. Now, NAR identified 10 real estate markets with the most pent-up housing demand for 2024, and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area came in at number 2, just behind the Austin, Texas metro area. They selected these specific real estate markets based on 10 different indicators, such as more returning buyers, lower home price appreciation, more renters who can afford to buy the median-priced home, more potential sellers, a larger decrease in remote workers, more affordable listings for first-time buyers, stronger job growth, faster income growth, most high-earner millennial renters moving into the area, and lower violent crime rates. Now, Yun also stated that the demand for housing will recover from falling mortgage rates and rising income. Many homeowners are coming to terms with the fact that we probably won't see 2, 3, or even 4% mortgage interest rates again anytime soon. Rates in the 6s or possibly upper 5s lessen the gap of what they currently have and make it easier to make that move, possibly to a brand new home.
According to Texas Real Estate Research Center at Texas A&M University, single-family inventory is expected to increase with construction projected to reach pre-pandemic levels at almost 4% growth over last year. Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio are the top home building markets in the U.S. and are expected to continue with a positive trend in 2024. Nationally as well as locally, we're still trying to return to normal after a decade of underproduction of single-family homes. So we're expecting a lack of supply to continue well beyond 2024.
The demand for housing combined with limited inventory has the potential to drive prices higher. At a national level, 8 top real estate economists have all given their home price forecasts, with only one of them predicting a small dip. But the average of them all is at 2.1% increase. Most economists, including the Texas A&M Real Estate Research Center, are predicting median home prices to stay flat or increase slightly, but no big drops like what was the previous concern. Now, taking a look at where home prices landed in December over the main 4 counties in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, the median home price in Denton County was up almost 3% to $461,000. Collin County dipped by almost 3% to 476,000, but they were also the county that shot up the most over the past couple of years. And Dallas County was up almost 9% to over 356,000. Then Tarrant County was down 3% to almost 339,000. So as you can see, the pricing varies. You'll see pockets where prices are up along with multiple offers on homes for sale, but other areas may be down a little. Putting all the data together, we believe that home prices in the DFW area will likely increase more than 2% this year, even if it's within certain pockets. Home price appreciation is decelerating, but that's not necessarily dropping. We're not seeing the huge gains of 10-20%, but we're also not seeing the crashes like some people thought.
Let's take a look at home prices from a 30,000-foot view because we believe it's a better way to make decisions rather than looking at a month-to-month or year-to-year, which we're seeing a lot of that from the news media or other social media sources. People don't normally buy a house and then turn around and sell it in just a few months unless, of course, something out of the ordinary happens in their lives. For people that may be considering buying a home this year, let's look at the history of real estate prices. Now, this part is huge. Texas as a whole has gained over 47% appreciation since the pandemic started in the first quarter of 2020. But since these were unicorn or unusual years, let's look at the longer range of time within the DFW market. In the last 5 years, the median home sales price in Denton County increased by $156,000. Collin County increased by $147,000. Dallas County saw an increase of $116,000, and Tarrant County saw an increase of $106,000. Now, if that's not enough to put proof in the pudding or give you some really good perspective, let's look at the Great Recession. We looked at the numbers from 2008 through 2012 when the market shifted in DFW in the 08 and 09, but we did not see huge drops in the numbers. However, it did feel like it. Now, it recovered within just a few years, faster in some areas and slower in others. But by 2012, the entire area was seeing increase in pricing again. We show you this because it has been the worst case scenario in our lifetime. Homeowners that were hurt the worst typically were people that were given a loan with zero money down or little money down. Then they also rolled their closing costs in on top of that. So when they closed on their home, they were already 6% underwater as far as the value of their home according to the market. Another part of this, people were giving loans that should really have never been given a loan, like the state aid income loans, where I call wire loans. They just said, we made X amount, we didn't have to prove that we even, made that amount. So they were given a loan. Then the last group were the people that unfortunately lost their job and were unable to pay for the mortgage. The mortgage standards are much higher now than they were back then. But looking at the history of home prices, they continue to go up over time and not down.
So here are some things to consider for home buyers and sellers for this year. If you're wanting to buy a home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in 2024, the good news is that economic growth and job opportunities in the area will continue to be strong. We recently just helped 2 families move here because of a new production company that's setting up shop in a small suburb of Dallas to start filming a new TV show. We helped them both buy brand new homes, actually in the same subdivision. They had builder incentives, 2 separate builders, but they were able to get their interest rate bought down. They were getting money off the price of the house, which leads us to another piece of good news is that buyers can get some really good builder deals right now. Now, we're not sure how much longer these deals will last once the market heats back up, but for those willing to make a move right now, there are definitely some rewards. And even some pre-existing home sellers are willing to give incentives to help buyers with those, buying down rates or even closing costs. As far as home prices, like we previously said, they'll likely be going up, not coming down. So for those that are just waiting until the interest rates drop or home prices drop, you may miss your window. Like we've said so many times before, it's impossible to time the market. Actually, a senior macroeconomist for Zillow recently said, the housing market, like so many other markets, is almost impossible to time. The best time for prospective buyers is when they find a home that they like, that meets their family's current and foreseeable needs, and that they can afford.
For homeowners considering selling your house, you're still able to get top dollar because of all the demand. However, the biggest competition will be the home builders. If people can get a brand new home for the same price with incentives, Most will. So staging your home and pricing it right along with great marketing is still required.
If you're seriously considering making a move in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this year, we would strongly recommend you talk with a professional in real estate that understands what's going on in your specific market. It's a big decision that can affect your family and your future, so it's worth getting some professional advice and guidance. Feel free to give us a call if you'd like to know what your options are and if it makes sense for you to make a move in 2024. And if you're considering moving to the DFW area, check out our video on where to live in Dallas, the top 10 best Dallas suburbs.